Welcome back to the Unbiased Room. Amidst the recent coaching changes and the substantial $168 million of coaching firings have become a prominent topic of discussion. The abundance of available positions raises the question of who will be the next coach to be hired. It prompts the question of which 6 destinations are considered the most desirable in college football. So, AB, what are the top 6 destinations in college football?
These are the top 6 jobs that I would leave for, in no order: Texas, Michigan, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, Notre Dame.
Okay. All right. Vic, what you got?
So I got, in no order, well, besides the first one, LSU, Florida, Penn State, Notre Dame, Michigan, and Oregon.
Okay. Oregon, man, that's interesting.
Well, I got Oregon because of the Nike money and Phil Knight.
Yeah,
So,
okay, gotcha.
I mean,
yeah.
they kind of in the
That's
same boat with Notre Dame with endless money.
Yeah, okay. All right, Ed, what you got?
All right, man. I agree with, I got Notre Dame, I got Bama, Texas, US, and here's where I'm like, Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put, Ohio State, OSU.
Okay, all right.
Buckeyes,
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to take Florida here over Michigan for me personally. So how many is that? Yeah, that's 6 right there, yeah.
Okay. So my top 6 was in no particular order: Alabama, Notre Dame, Texas, LSU, Ohio State, and Michigan. I think those jobs are the best ones in college football. And the reason I think those 6 is because of the name, the brand, and I think the recruits. I think those states, right, they got the great, they got good recruits. When I look at a place like Georgia, even though I don't have Georgia in my top 6, but Georgia, I mean, it's all them. I mean, Georgia Tech is coming on recently, but Georgia owns that state, right? When you look at Louisiana, LSU, Louisiana, they're really the state college, and they got the most recruits, man, top recruits that you can get per capita.
So you didn't have Georgia in there, but you had LSU in there. Is that what you said?
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had LSU.
So I think that was the only difference between our list.
Yeah.
You had LSU, I had Georgia.
I
only say that because of what Georgia has done since Kirby got there, right? He has built that thing up into a perennial program, man. And recruits flocked to there, man. They didn't have a top 3 recruiting class, a top 3 recruiting class 5 years straight, 6 years straight. I just think that would be a hard job to turn down, to say no to.
And the thing about these jobs is what you gain from coming to these jobs and being coming out of these jobs these last couple of years. The brand actually matters, and what you make of it actually matters, and who comes out of what actually matters.
So the school, I'll clarify. The school that everybody had on their list was Texas, Notre Dame. Everybody had those 2, right?
Yeah.
Everybody had Bama.
No, I didn't have Texas.
Yeah.
Who'd you have?
Texas was my number 7, but I had LSU, Florida, Penn State, Notre Dame, Michigan, Oregon.
Bro, your list is fucking insane.
Yeah,
but
Penn
you got
Michigan.
Penn State, Oregon?
Penn State.
Man, what?
Penn State, because it's the easiest place to win. James Franklin stayed there for years without winning big games.
Okay, but hold on.
Oregon, you gonna get paid, Phil Knight.
I think you missed the assignment, brother. I think you missed the assignment. So you're telling me if you didn't have Texas on your list. So if you were at Texas, you would leave Texas to go to Penn State.
If Phil Knight is throwing me more money?
No. Penn State. You would leave Texas to go to Penn State.
Not Penn State. Would I leave Texas to go to Oregon? No, I wouldn't.
To Penn State.
No, I wouldn't. But Texas.
So how can Penn State be on your list?
Hold on. Texas was my number 7 just because Penn State, any coach that get there will have a chance to win. Texas, you got to go through a gauntlet. So it's hard, and coaches don't want to go there.
I would say that Penn State is an honorable mention, maybe.
So,
right.
I'm just curious because, but hold on.
Penn State
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Penn State donors give them a lot of money. Penn State got bread.
Well, hold on. I remember when we first started this, a while back, you said Penn State wasn't even a blue blood.
Yeah, you said that.
I agree, and I still think that. But look, we're talking about Penn State. You think you got a better chance of lasting 3 years at Penn State or 3 years at Texas if you're not making the playoffs? Let's think about it. Let's be real.
Yeah, okay. I get that one.
And
I
so,
get
I
that.
mean, you got to think
James
about
Franklin was there for 12 years. He was there
yes,
for
and
12
then do
years.
nothing at all.
Mac Brown was at Texas how long?
Exactly, and did nothing.
From
He was a long
yeah,
time.
he was there for 15 years.
And that's before
15
they
years,
was in the
won
SEC.
one championship.
Before they even
But yeah,
came
he
to
won
the
a
SEC.
championship. Yeah.
So it's just like,
But Ed, you make it seem like one championship is not good.
Look, everybody on my list, I would say besides Notre Dame, has won championships here recently, right? And yeah, USC is getting to we're getting to the 30-year mark. But if you can win at USC, man, at USC you run all of California, right? That is the premier college in California. Texas,
I
I give
agree.
it to you. Best facilities in college football, arguably. Bama, Nick Saban built a dynasty there, but there was a dynasty before him there. You know,
And I agree with you, man. With USC, they were just on the outside looking in for me. So they're
Yeah,
in
me
my
too.
top 7. USC was my 7th school. And with everything that you said, man, them being the premier school in California, they dominated the West Coast for such a long time. But
Mhm.
Oregon has come along. And Oregon I have them at number 10 if we're going that far. Yeah, but get into that Florida, man.
Look, man,
Florida was in my top 10, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. But
Yeah.
I was
and the
wondering why you
reason
had
I
them in your
have
top
Florida
6.
in my top 6, man, Florida been around the SEC. Florida is an older established college, right? They have the name, the brand. They won championships with Urban Meyer was there. What's his
Spurrier.
name?
Spurrier.
Spurrier.
yeah.
Yeah, Steve Spurrier, man. Right now, even this is considered the off years. They have a loaded roster. People go to Florida to play. They put people in the league. And I know we get into arguments like, hey, there's 3 other major colleges in Florida, but geographically where they're located, right? They can go get the players from Georgia, Alabama. You know what I'm saying? That's all their recruiting area.
That's true.
And here I had them over Michigan because in the last, I would say Michigan had that good running team. Yeah, Michigan is an outstanding brand, right? Amazing stadium, great, whole nine. But who's won more championships? Even during the Saban dynasty, Florida was still hanging. They had a solid run in that time. And granted, it was Tim Tebow and them boys, right? But it was, great players. But they've had some really good seasons, national championships. Florida is, I hate to admit it, but it is one of the better brands.
Yeah, but
So
see, I think
overall.
I think y'all overthinking this, right? The question was, what top 6 schools would y'all leave to go coach at, right? You're at a disadvantage if you go to Florida because you're competing with Miami and Florida State, right? I would go to Michigan because I'm a Michigan. I'm not competing with nobody up there. I'm not
You
competing
compete
with
with Ohio
Michigan
State.
State.
Yeah, but
You competing with Ohio State, but that area, that's it.
Mhm.
You got that whole region up there, and you compete with only Ohio State. If we're
but
talking
when it
about just in the state of Florida, you competing with Florida State and Miami.
comes to picking these
I hear.
schools, when it comes to picking these schools, the brand and what you get from it actually matters. Now, if we're talking
yeah.
about, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Vic. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm saying the brand actually matters in everything that's around it. Like your chances of staying there longer, who you endorse by, Nike, Under Armour, all that stuff matters. Your boosters matter. Shit, fucking Oregon got not Michigan. Michigan got Dave Portnoy just throwing endless money just because he super rich. Like that matters when it comes to picking these schools and going where you're going. Cause that controls now with the new age, NIL controls majority of what's happening now.
And that's why your pick
Yeah.
at Oregon was good for me. I liked it. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's a good one.
And that's why I brought it up, right? So I was listening to the radio, and that was one of the questions they brought up. Everybody had different answers, but like they said, Vic just kind of nailed it, right? Which is the reason I kind of wanted to do it. It's a different era now, though. NIL plays a big part, right? And is it still a destination job? What I may have viewed, because I know I'm older than all of y'all, what I may have viewed as a destination job may not be a destination job anymore. Like he said,
Yeah.
we don't count Oregon as a destination job, like he said, but for kids now, I mean, for the last, I think 3 years, the top prospect in Alabama has went to Oregon. The top high school prospect has went to Oregon the last 3 years.
They stole Decory Moore from
And
us just because the bag.
and I
And he from
and I
Texas.
forgot, man. Yeah, man. I forgot about Oregon's unlimited NIL pool, right? And that's gonna change. I'm with Ron. Like some of the names I went are the classics, which I thought were blue blood, universities, great colleges, and with winning traditions. But right now, winning tradition don't matter if you got more money than the other school.
Yeah.
Yeah, players
Well,
want to
Yeah.
get paid, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no loyalty, regardless of who you grew up rooting for. Who's gonna put some money in my pocket?
Yeah.
And just kind of go back, like what y'all was saying, Dan Lanning, right? His name keeps popping up in a lot of these coaching searches. It came up for LSU, came up for Florida. But why would Dan Lanning leave Oregon to go to one of those schools? He got
He's
it
sitting on
made
a
at
gold mine.
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why leave there to go to Florida or to LSU, right? When you already there, you know what I mean?
The
And like I said, I
brand.
just thought that was a great topic, man. I was like, wow, I ain't think of it like that.
yeah. Because I mean, debatable. Some kids would be like, "Man, what you got?" Let's see, Notre Dame on there. You know what I'm saying? Where I can go get money at Michigan, more money at Michigan, more money at Oregon. I'm like, I
Yeah.
get it. That's a good perspective.
Yeah,
But
and Vic brought up Dave Portnoy, but Larry Ellison, I think he owns Paramount and he owns Oracle. He's a
Yeah.
billionaire.
A billionaire, and he's a
Yeah,
Michigan alum.
he is, and he was one of the main reasons Bryce Underwood left and went because his wife said that she wanted him to come
Yeah.
play for them, and he
Yeah.
dropped a lot of money for him to go there.
And last point, aside of the money, the brand actually matters. A lot of these, especially with social media, how easily you can just blow up now. The brand matters where you at. Like, you brought up Dan Lanning. Oregon can give him all that money in the world. LSU can give him some money, and just him as a coach and his name will blow up just because the brand you at. If you're actually doing what you're supposed to do and winning.
All right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching the Bias Room. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Sir.
Peace.